cirrhosis, which is the animals can get infected and pass it on to humans as well. And we also recognize too that in terms of infrastructure, we need to, as you would have heard my colleagues say, build back stronger. So before, we wouldn't have had probably much concern about using hurricane straps and zinc nails. We speak a lot, yes, about elevated housing structure, especially for small ruminants. But now that this has occurred and we have seen the devastation that has taken place, we really need to take a serious look on the construction that we do for our livestock units. We also have to pay attention to how are we going to take care of or dispose of, as you would say, animals that had drowned during the hurricane. This was another issue that surfaced because when you have this devastating loss where you have thousands of broilers or thousands of cattle being killed during the hurricane, how do you go about properly disposing of the carcass? So this is something that we are looking into and to see in the future how we're going to be handling issues like these. We also recognize that because the animals will suffer other stressors because of the hurricane, what we did was to partner with our private sector stakeholders, our Nutramix and our Hypro, and we do what we call the livestock pop-up clinics. So some parishes would have seen these clinics in action already, and let me tell you, we don't only work with the livestock animals, but we treat companion animals as well, because we know farmers have their animals, and their animals are also their security on their farm, and so the animals need attention. So when we have the clinics, we encourage persons to bring all their animals, any type of animals that you have, bring it, and the vets will give you information or medication as needed. We know that there are going to be some animals that you cannot take. If you have a certain amount of cattle, you may not be able to take it, but once you can come and explain to the vets what it is that you're seeing, then this is something that they can advise you and give you the medication to take home and how to administer. The pop-up clinics, it's not only at a particular section that or a particular site that they erected. What they also do is that they travel out into neighboring communities. So if the pop-up clinic is in your community and your farm is nearby, the vets actually visit the farm to do wellness check on your animals. And let me tell you, this is extremely critical, extremely important, because animals do suffer from stress as well, and other digestive issues that can occur because of the disruption in their diet. So this veterinary intervention, it was well needed, it was critical, and we're continuing to work with the stakeholders as we go from parish to parish. So I want everyone to listen out when we're having the clinics to make sure that you can be a part of it. And just quickly to say that the next clinic that we're going to have, it's going to be in Trelawney, Hague Trelawney, the 10th of December, and this is going to be by Nutramix. And as I indicated, both industries have been working with us. I also want to highlight too that we have been working with a number of other stakeholders even before the hurricane came. We have a group that is called Can Do, and it's the Caribbean Agri-Environmental Group for Disaster Risk Reduction and Management. And we formed a Jamaican chapter, and this is basically a group of stakeholders that deal with disaster management, that we would have been looking at the hurricane coming, what are some of the issues, would have developed a needs list really quickly to get it out to donors so that they can know how to assist the livestock farmers. I also want to indicate too that we have been working with private sector persons, farmers overseas who have found it necessary or would have been very generous in allowing funds to be able to purchase feed for farmers. We have Hypro, I know, that have been partnering with the Jamaica Pig Farmers Association to provide feed for pig farmers. And the Small Ruminant Association, I know they have been out assisting their members as well. So I want everybody to know that there are a lot of persons who have been coming on board and have been helping livestock farmers to bounce back. I also want to mention at this point too that RADA is currently at the advanced stages of making sure that resources are provided to farmers. We are now sending out chicken and feed to farmers. We are also looking at providing infrastructure support. And as Mr. Henry would have said earlier, we have to do it in a structured way. And so we are making sure that when we are doing these interventions, so for example, we're doing the poultry intervention, we cannot at this time be giving poultry, chickens and feed to persons who do not have the infrastructure in place or do not have certain facilities. So bear with us, it is not going to be a one-off thing. We're going to do some interventions now in December and come January again. So whilst you may not have benefited in December, just continue to work on the housing infrastructure with us, and by January you can also be beneficiaries of the inputs. So as I indicated, we are in the advanced stages. We have done the assessment, we see what is needed, and we are working on it, not just with RADA, because we know that recovery efforts is not a one-man show. We have to collaborate. It is all of us working together to make sure that our farmers bounce back very quickly and stronger. It's for our own food security. So work with us. I know it's not going to be perfect. There are going to be issues. Make sure you contact RADA so that we can know about you, know about your situation. That is why it's also good to be registered with RADA so we can know where you are and put the proper plans in place. So I want to implore and to let you know again that we are working on it. We hear you, we're putting things in place, and we will get to everybody eventually. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Maxine. Thank you. That was a very wholesome overview. And, you know, a key takeaway is that the recovery process is not a one-man show. It involves a network of persons, international, regional. It involves you, the farmer, right? So it's not just a RADA or a ministry, but you are also involved. And we want to thank you for your patience, thank you for your communication, and also remember, as Ms. Brown just said, register with RADA. When you register with RADA, we have your data, we know where you are, we are able to access you and the information that we have on the database so that it helps us with our planning. So if you have not yet done so, make sure you register with RADA so that the next time around, hopefully not a Melissa Category 5, of course, but the next time around, in any eventualities, we are able better to serve you. So thank you so much. At this point in time, unfortunately, we have to take a 3-minute break. And this is due to technical difficulties we are experiencing on our social media platforms, and we just want the technical persons to attend to it so that you can hear us better. The audio is poor. We understand we are getting a lot of feedback through text messages, and so we ask that you give us 3 minutes while we attend to this. And in the meantime, just engage us with your patience. Thank you so much. Welcome back, viewers. Thank you for your patience. And now we'll continue with our final panelist, Mr. Xavier Chavez, who is the Senior Director for Production, Marketing, and Special Projects. Mr. Chavez.
Thank you, Mr. Shaw. Good afternoon, colleagues. Good afternoon, farmers and other stakeholders. The marketing unit provides technical and marketing information services to farmers island-wide, and we do that through 14 marketing extension officers, 5 Alex agro-brokers, and a post-harvest specialist. We provide critical market intelligence such as weekly farm gate price, crop projections in regards to a monthly, 3-month forecast, and we also provide situation analysis information to the Ministry of Agriculture. We also use technology through the Alex platform to collect and disseminate critical data to and from key stakeholders. We also facilitate market linkages. So in other words, we sell what the farmers have to the buyers. So we connect buyers to farmers, to put simple. We also provide capacity building opportunities, and we provide training in good agricultural practices, cost of production, farming as a business, post-harvest management, grading and sorting. So we're going to look at the damage that Hurricane Melissa did to the agricultural sector and the impact it is having on farmers and local consumers. There have been extensive damage to all crop categories, and that includes vegetables, fruits, condiments, and tubers. We've had damage such as breaking or toppling, flooding, landslide, and also soil erosion. We have also have extensive livestock damage, loss of cattle, broilers, layers, and small ruminants. And we have also experienced infrastructural damages, damages to greenhouse, farm buildings, and farm roads. This has had a negative impact on the local market. So what we are seeing happening on the local market: reduced supplies on the local market, reduced quality, and this creates a market panic, and in some cases, market manipulation, which ultimately leads to increased prices. Marketing unit, what are we doing? We will be conducting rapid damage and recovery assessment. So not only damage assessment, but also recovery assessment, because we have to be on top of things in regards to what is being produced and how fast they are coming in. We'll also be targeting short-term crops. Culturally, farmers, whenever they suffer damage, culturally they plant the quickest thing to make money. And this is usually the short-term vegetables, 6-week vegetables, such as lettuce, pak choy, string bean, etc. We'll be providing the market intelligence that track and align production to consumption or demand. And how we do that? We have to be out in the field. We also encourage the farmers to communicate with the extension officers, the marketing officers, give us the information so that we will be better able to plan and link those farmers to our buyers. We have to communicate production levels and the availability of key produce to key stakeholders, and these are our key buyers. Doing our production forecasts, etc. We have to track and communicate farm gate prices for critical crops across Jamaica. We are experiencing high prices at farm gate now because of the scarcity of produce. And so we'll be tracking these prices, have an indication of when these prices are reducing, and this gives us an indication of when production is coming in. We also will be supporting farmers by connecting them with resources resources such as storage. We are anticipating that production will increase in the coming months, and when it does, we will be making available the RADA storage facilities to our farmers. We have storage facilities in St. Elizabeth, one in Santa Cruz and two in Flagamans that just recently opened. We also have one in Trelawney, Clarendon, and St. Mary, and we'll be utilizing these storage facilities to regularize the market. These storage facilities amount to about just over 10,000 cubic feet of storage, and it is ideal for storing vegetables and fruits. We'll also be utilizing farmers' markets as necessary. Sometimes what we experience is a distribution problem and not necessarily a glut. Sometimes it is what we call an artificial glut. And so we'll be utilizing the farmers' market, RADA farmers' market, in strategic locations, preferably urban areas, to offload some of this produce. And again, we encourage farmers to communicate with their marketing officers through the parishes and also Alex Agro Brokers. The contact number for the AgriLinkages Exchange, Alex, is 970-1451. Speak to an agro broker and they will connect you to a buyer as soon as you speak to them. Other interventions include policy support to the ministry. We'll be collaborating with policymakers and stakeholders to advocate for farmers' needs, and we have done so, and we are already responding through providing inputs to farmers. We are providing seeds, fertilizer, and other inputs to farmers, and we'll continue to lobby on behalf of our farmers. And we'll also be focusing capacity building on the topics I mentioned earlier. It is going to be important to address post-harvest issues when produce, the increase in the availability of produce comes. And so the increase in post-harvest loss will reduce the farmer's potential income, and so we'll be addressing that issue as well. We also will be encouraging our farmers to insure their crops, and we'll also encourage them to go a little further. We'll be training farmers in regards to climate resilience, right, because this is something that we are expecting to happen every year. It's either it's going to be a hurricane, tropical storm, extensive rainfall, or it's going to be a drought, and climate change is real. And so we have to equip our farmers to deal with these challenges. Once again, I implore all farmers, contact your RADA offices to get in contact with the marketing extension officers, and also contact Alex platform. And in the broader scheme of things, what we will be doing is somewhat planning around the production that Mr. Henry spoke to earlier. We'll be taking a marketing approach to things in regards to the extensive production that we are expecting. A lot of seeds are out there. Farmers will be buying their seeds as well and putting in their production. Likewise, RADA would have been assisting farmers, and so we have to plan for all of this production that is expected to come in. We also have to plan for the greenhouse production that is expected to come in, because some of these farmers would have adhered to what we told them to do in regards to pulling down their plastic, and so some of them just need to resuscitate plants and continue production rather than start over again. And so we'll be out in the field speaking to farmers, collecting all of these marketing information, disseminating this information to the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries and Mining, and also to the major buyers across Jamaica. We'll also be talking to these major buyers to see the storage capacity that they have, and speak to them in regards to the the logistical issues of transportation and packaging as well. So these are some of the issues that the marketing unit will be addressing. And once again, I implore farmers, please contact the RADA marketing extension officers in your respective parishes, communicate with them, let them know what you are planting, when you are planting, and when you're expected to reap, so that we can have a seamless movement of produce through the different market channels. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chavez. Thank you for that wholesome, informative overview from the Marketing and Special Projects Department. And you would have heard Mr. Chavez mention some very important things, such as the team, the marketing team, providing marketing intelligence, which is important because we need to know what is on demand, how much is out there, etc. He also mentioned about storage facilities in various parts of the island for farmers, right? Currently about 10,000 cubic foot of storage. He spoke also about the planning of farmers markets, which is going to help with the distribution of some of the crops. Because what is something that we overlook at times is that after this chaos, when farmers rush in for the production and they plant these short-term crops, then you find in a couple of weeks from now, you have an abundance of string bean and lettuce, pak choy, and a number of other leafy green. And issues may arise at that time in terms of the large volumes and the ability for the market to absorb. But he did also mention that sometimes there's an artificial glut or shortage, and that is really where their team come in play to provide that intelligence so that the produce can go to the places where it is needed. And last but not least, he spoke about the post-harvest loss. And farmers will be receiving further training from the marketing unit, because this loss will know, this training will help the farmers to reduce how much produce they lose, because the more produce they lose is the more they lose from their potential earnings, all right? And that impact definitely on our farmers. And so we're asking our viewers who are on the various social media platform, you might be sitting beside somebody whose YouTube is working and yours not working, and Instagram is working and yours not working. Just refresh your page, and that may help, because we are getting some text messages about lack of audio and some things are not so clear. So we ask that you just refresh your page and see how that goes. So at this time, we have our farmers in Manchester Parish office, and we are calling to them now. They are joining us by satellite, Starlink, and as such, we dub them as the Manchester Satellite Farmers Group. And so we ask the parish, we are going to engage you now and take some questions from you. Do we have any questions while they set up? Sorry?
Again, it's on the they're in, yeah.
While our Manchester satellite farmers get themselves together, we have a question. And this is a question from Instagram. What concrete steps are being taken so that the next big storm finds our farmers not just recovering, but better prepared and more resilient? And while our panelists think about it, throughout each presentation, it was mentioned, starting from Marina Young, where she spoke about that the process is not just a recovery per se, but it's also a recovery and building of resilience. All right, so I don't know if any one of the team members want to expand a little bit more on that. The question is, what steps are being taken so that the next storm, like Melissa, we hope we never see another Melissa, but if we do, what steps are being taken to ensure that farmers are better prepared? Oh, go ahead, Ms. Brown.
It's working, okay. So as I indicated, we recognize that infrastructure damage was a big issue where livestock is concerned. And which is why I say that we know in terms of giving out materials, in terms of giving out our zinc and lumber and whatever it is, we will be adding to that hurricane straps and screws. We're also looking at the possibility, if it is that we need to invest in probably elevated poultry units to prevent the flooding of units that tend to occur. So we are looking at different strategies. We have some stakeholders that we are working with in terms of construction as we go forward. And so this is some of the things that we will need to put in place to allow the units to become stronger, to can withstand, you know, if it's even a Category 3 hurricane. So rest assured that we are not going to be continuing business as usual in terms of how we used to do construction, but we will take a more pointed effort in terms of ensuring that the structures are more sustainable. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ms. Brown. You wanted to respond? Go ahead, Mr. Henry.
Certainly. Okay, so while we are planning the recovery process, we are also looking at strategies that will be undertaken going forward to bolster our agricultural sector. Based on what we have seen, especially in some of the worst affected parishes, land management practices. So we'll be setting up some structured land management practices going forward so that we can reduce land slippage and soil erosion. A part of our protected agriculture, we are at the stage now discussing with key players in the industry to start build out what we call collapsible greenhouses so that we can lower the structure of the greenhouses going forward so that we'll be better able to manage future shocks from hurricane or storm. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Henry. At this time, we welcome our satellite farmers in Manchester joining us. Thank you so much. Good evening to you all. Thank you for your patience. I see it's night there in Manchester. It's also night here in Kingston. So we're on the same time zone. So I don't know who is asking the first question, but what I'll ask of you is that you introduce yourself by name and tell us where you're from, the type of farming you do, and then your question. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, Mr. Mackenzie, or Edgerton Mackenzie to be exact. I'm the president for the farmer group in Lyndhurst and Grove Place. I farm, the type of farming I do poultry, pig, and I also do yam, corn, carrot, and also sweet potato. I do a little pepper too. So that's my thing that I do. I just have one question here to ask. I write it down right here. Was saying, how many operation for the free land preparation you people will have? That's my question.
Thank you very much for that question. So a part of the strategic focus to encourage our farmers to get back into production, we have designed this land preparation strategy to help you recover and to recover fast. So for farmers who are doing 1 to 5 acres, we'll be plowing 1 acre free. And 3 operations that include plowing, harrowing, and furrowing. And for farmers doing 5 to 10 acres, we'll be doing 2 acres free. And for our hardworking farmers who are doing over 10 acres, we'll be assisting you with 3 acres free. And this will help you reduce your operating costs. You can use that money to assist with fertilizer and agrochemical. So that is how we have designed this structured program to help you going forward. Thank you.
Thank you for that response, Mr. Henry. We'll take another question from the Manchester team.
Hi, good evening. All protocols observed to the panel and the viewers. My name is Yolanda R. Hilton. I am a poultry farmer here in the Manchester area, and I will pose my question directly to Ms. Brown and any other member of the panel wishes to answer afterwards. My question is, what holistic support system can poultry farmers in Jamaica access to tackle rising operational costs, disease outbreak, market fluctuation, and climate change, climate impact? I believe you have answered a part of that question, and more importantly, to stay profitable.
It's on? Okay, so let me deal with the last question first, because I know a lot of farmers go into production without knowing that we have what we call the smallest economically viable unit. And for poultry, it is probably around 200 to 300 chickens. Means that it's an operation that is a standalone from which you can make a profit. The other number of producers in terms of who do 50 chickens or 100 chickens, we see it more as a subsistence type farming. And so it wouldn't be something that you depend on solely for funding to rely on. As I would have indicated, RADA is able to provide support to farmers in terms of chicken, feed, infrastructure. We also have our marketing unit that can assist farmers also in identifying sustainable markets. But a lot of the emphasis is going to be on farmers to be consistent in their supply and the quality of the products that they have. Unfortunately or fortunately, poultry production, you are both processors, you're both growers and you are processors. And so in recognizing that, we also try to provide support in terms of even a defeathering machine that can reduce your operating costs, because then you won't need as many workers to be helping you to process your chicken. It will go faster, and from a food safety perspective, you'll be in a better position to can negotiate markets. We recognize too that a number of farmers struggle, especially when they have to have birds on refrigeration, because electricity costs that you will incur. But some of that too, like I indicated, is a matter of marketing, because you really should not be producing chickens just to sit in your freezer waiting for a market. If you have a freezer, it is just to keep the chickens probably for a day before you have to take it to the market. So I find a lot of persons, in terms of having issues with being profitable or sustainable, it's really from the marketing perspective. Identifying the markets that they're targeting, finding out from the markets what it is that they want, understanding when payment is going to be due from that source that they're selling to, etc. So we do training sessions. We try to educate persons as much as possible to be financially literate. And I think with some of the combinations of the inputs and the training and working together with the marketing officers, we will be able to can have quite a number of farmers being sustainable and being profitable.
Thank you very much, Ms. Brown. Thank you. All right. Now, of course, we are working with some time constraints, unfortunately. And so for the group in Manchester, we're going to take 3 more questions. All right? So sorry to just hit it on you like that, but we're asking you to just organize yourselves. But 3 more questions from you, so we'll take the next one at this time.
Each and everyone, my name is Sheila Baines and I'm the president of the Dobson Producers and Marketing Organization in Coliville. I am a farmer of peppers, that's bell peppers, and I'm currently moving from open field to greenhouse. We do goat rearing and chicken broilers and also other mixed vegetables. I want to take this opportunity at this time just to say a big thank you to RADA for Farm Road Development. That's a new road in Pike, which is a part of our organization Passion. And we have learned that one end of the road is being cleared and the other section will be worked on currently. So I just want to say thanks for that. Now, my question is, it pertains to the land preparation, where you speak about plowing, harrowing, and so on. It seems as if this is for people who use tractors, but my farmers on my terrain, we do manual plowing. So I want to know what provisions are being made. Is it the same step that you apply to RADA for the subsidy? And also, a farmer from my group wants to know if you benefited recently from this land prep, and if they are still entitled at this stage to benefit under this program, because at this time land preparation is key, and a lot of persons are preparing land now, especially to plant Irish potato. Okay, and those
Mr.
are my
Henry
questions.
will respond.
Thank you very much for that question. So, as I said earlier, this structured approach to land preparation is not only for tractors, we also support manual land preparation as well. So you are to get in touch with your local parish agricultural manager or your extension officer. And we have designed the system in such a way that the extension officers will be coming out here to inspect and investigate the holding, and then they will make the recommendation for the land preparation. So she had said something else.
Is there another part of your question, or does that satisfy the question you asked?
So that if a person had benefited recently from a land preparation subsidy, they will be entitled this time around to benefit under this program.
Certainly. The program that we are now administering is to assist farmers, all farmers who have suffered losses by the passage of Hurricane Melissa. So please get in touch with your local agricultural extension officers and they will take it from there. Thank you very much.
We take two more questions from Manchester. Next person up, please.
From the Colleyville Division said farming program. So we are preparing land now, like for Irish potato. If we due to get our liquor Irish, if we don't get it like in December to January, it don't make sense under our preparation, can to our season. So if anything are going for us now, we would know. And the thing we are trying, we want necessary, is the new road preparation. But our black now, not even donkey or nothing cannot go through. But the Chilani side have cleared. Remind them of the area. Remind them of the area. The area is Pike, going to Chilani, the border. But from Chilani end, from Waitabit to the bridge, to the river have been cleared. But we are on the lookout right now. We would like Destiny now to see that in our preparation. Okay?
Oh, all right, Mr. Henry will respond to that. Go ahead, Mr. Henry.
Pertaining to the question regarding Irish potato seeds, we have commenced the distribution of Irish potato seed following the passage of Hurricane Melissa. And we are distributing the seeds in batches. The parish of Manchester is slated to get Irish potato seed. The parish of Manchester is slated to get Irish potato seed coming next week. Regarding the farm road, our engineers are currently scoping the rehabilitation of that farm road that you have just mentioned. So in short order, we'll commence rehabilitation work on that farm road. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Henry, for that response. And we'll take the final question from the Manchester satellite farmers. Go ahead with your final question.
Hi, good evening. Good evening. I am Anissa Hibbert. I am from Thorn District. I am a farmer where I do crops and I also do livestock. My question is, you mentioned that you'll be looking into having structures elevated in certain areas that are normally flood prone, and you actually be looking into other climate resilient approach going forward. How will persons who are just starting over be able to afford these structures, see where most persons have lost everything or most? And in terms of your assistance that will be given, I realize you mentioned earlier that if you don't do at least 200 birds, you will be seen as, a self-sustainable business. So how will you be looking to assist persons with changes in structure, and also who are the first person you're going to be assisting in terms of getting these climate resilient approaches and benefits going forward?
It's on.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you for that. So, as I indicated, yes, we're going to have to be looking into more sustainable structures. And as a lot of my colleagues would have said, it is not going to be an overnight thing. So I am not going to say that in building back every structure that is out there, we will be able to tackle and to get it up to the standard that we want. But we are saying in going forward, these are things that we're going to have to be looking at. Of course, as I indicated, RADA is not a standalone institution in terms of working with the farmers. We have other stakeholders with whom we will be collaborating with to assist farmers where that is concerned, which is why it is important for farmers to register with RADA, know your livestock officer, and for us to have that conversation. Because for each farmer, you have different issues. There are some farmers who may be able to do the infrastructure, but if they complete the infrastructure, they may not have the resources to do the necessary inputs like the feeders, waters, etc. There are some who may just need assistance with roofing for the different units. Some just may need mesh wire. So which is why I said it is a conversation that we need to have with all the farmers, because different farmers are at different stages of development. And as I indicated, yes, even the smaller farmers who have their 25 chickens or their 50 chickens, we plan to work along with them also to strengthen their infrastructure. So we are not ruling out everybody. It is not going to be an overnight intervention. It is something that will take some time, but it is the direction that we have to move towards if we plan to be sustainable and to secure our food industry. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Brown. And so there may be some more questions buzzing from Manchester. We ask that you can submit them through your parish office, your extension officers. I encourage you to do that, and they will be addressed directly to you. We have a question, though, from our social media platform, Davel Ellis, and he's asking specifically to field services. There are parishes without a tractor program currently, and they made mention specifically St. Catherine and St. Anne, and would like to know, what are the steps being taken, or what are the plans in the coming future to support those areas or those farmers in need in those parishes.
I thank you very much for that question. We have, based on what we are doing for the recovery program, we have designed a massive tractor program, and this involves repairing the current fleet of tractors that we have in hand, and also procuring additional tractors to help bolster the tractor operation. So in St. Anne, we have just delivered a 4x4 rubber wheel tractor to commence land preparation activities in short order. For St. Catherine, we are currently repairing the 90 horsepower tractor there, and also on the wharf, we are preparing to clear within the next 2 weeks 4 rubber wheel tractors. One is destined for St. Catherine, one for Clarendon, one for Westmoreland, and one for Manchester.
Okay, thank you so much. And in addition to that, I do know that. Was somebody saying something? Sorry? Oh, continue. Okay, thank you. All right, so in addition to that, some of our partners, and I can make mention specifically Food for the Poor and other agencies, are also assisting with some tools and small equipment that will help with land preparation, which you will hear more about shortly from now, because we understand the terrain of the Jamaica lands that some of our small farmers work on, and not all of them are suitable for the large rubber wheel tractors. And as such, the efforts of the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining, along with RADA, and our partnering stakeholders, both internationally and locally, is to acquire small handheld tractors that will also provide some support to our farmers in land preparation. Now, as we conclude this second episode of our Recovery and Resilience Stakeholder Series, I would just ask now my lovely panel members, with just 2 minutes, just to give a forecast of the next 2 to 3 weeks, exactly what can be expected from your specific subject matter area. And so let me ask, for the next 2 to 3 weeks, what can our stakeholders expect to see and to engage with RADA from your particular discipline, right? And I'll just start from Ms. Brown, and we move next to Mrs. Young, Mr. Henry, and then Chavez, in that order. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So in the next 2 to 3 weeks, we will see more of the clinics. And may I just add that the clinics are not just done with the feed companies. We have other stakeholders on board. We have JSPCA, Ministry of Health, the Veterinary Division, the Ministry of Agriculture. We have Baruch distributors, and we have private vets as well who participate. We have also gone ahead and have been sending funds now to the parishes to assist farmers in being able to, or assist the parishes in providing infrastructure support to the farmers. We are also procuring chicken and feed. We are also procuring feed for small ruminant farmers. We are procuring feed for pig farmers. We are also looking at other inputs. We are looking at procuring animals such as goats and sheep. And in instances, we are also collaborating with the Jamaica Dairy Development Board to see how we can support the beef cattle farmers. So you're going to see a massive rollout of different interventions that will be taking place where livestock is concerned. I know it was, if you want to call it, a little bit of a slow start. Some persons may have been a little bit impatient in terms of wondering what is happening, but in the next 2 to 3 weeks, a lot of different things will be rolling out, and as I indicated, we'll be continuing with our clinics as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Brown. Mrs. Young.
Thank you, Mr. Shaw. So, as the technical services, we definitely for next 2 to 3 weeks going to finalize all of the arrangement for starting of repairs of critically damaged farm roads. That is one. The primary attention will be given to the roads like Pikes and others which still have blockages with debris and other critical areas. Although the farmers now involved in the restoration activities for the early January, we are planning structured training programs across various disciplines, especially topics which are important for this particular stage of the crop and livestock production to ensure success of farmers' efforts in terms of replanting and resuscitating their livestock production. It's not 2 to 3 weeks, but December is very critical for procurement, successful procurement of on-farm irrigation inputs, and we are following on that. We understand water is life, especially coming to the dry periods. Definitely, on behalf of the entire team, but especially considering that RADA Connect initiative is primarily of the technical issue on farmer registration, re-registration, renewal of IDs. Our farmers will see us in different parishes, so we are definitely looking for good responses, and so far farmers been very supportive in terms of common reporting damages, registering, and other technical areas being addressed. I also want to mention that while we're taking care of the farmers, we do have critical needs for our RADA parish offices, specifically St. Anne, St. James, to restore some level of normalities, and there are also repairs work in other parishes like Manchester, St. Elizabeth, and Westmoreland. So we also will be putting on stream operation of St. James Parish Office at very short, few weeks, 2 to 3 weeks time, so the farmers actually can come on the St. Catherine Hall ground and do their reports, interactions with farmers, and other activities pertaining to RADA, vet services, and also other stakeholders which accommodated under St. James Parish Office. So those are the few critical areas within, up to say to the end of the December, beginning of January.
Finally, RADA technical team comprising of over 200 highly competent cadre of extension personnel will be out there in our numbers ramping up production over the next 2 to 3 weeks. And this will be led by our 2 zonal directors from the east and the western zone, with our parish agricultural managers and our deputy parish agricultural managers and all our extension officers on the ground. Our interventions are targeted. We'll be ramping up the distribution of quality planting material, high-yielding seed variety, clean seedlings, including hot pepper, sweet pepper, and vegetable seedlings. We will be having targeted technical training sessions at strategic locations, and we are calling on all farmers to attend. We will help you to plan your farming operation in a structured way, so that you can recover, and not only recover, but you will be sustainable going forward. So our interventions are targeted, and we'll be out there. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Henry. Mr. Chavez.
So from a marketing perspective, what we'll be doing is targeting production of the vegetables and fruits that Jamaicans are used to. We want to see an increase in the volumes in the marketplace and a reduction in prices. And as a result, we'll be utilizing the technology through the Alex platform. So what we are encouraging farmers to do is go on to agrilinkages.gov.gm, and you can create a store. You can put the information in regards to your production, your location, your contact number for your various crops. And our marketers that are present on the website will contact you. You can also call the AgriLinkages Exchange Center, and the agri-brokers will also assist you as well. Contact RADA parish offices to speak to your marketing extension officer, who will feed you the information in regards to what is needed in the market space, so you can have a planned production, a targeted production for specific crops. And they will also link you to the markets that are available. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chavez. And thank you, our viewers, for being with us this afternoon. Thank you so much for your attention. Thank you for the questions. And like I said, we weren't able to attend to all the questions. However, we ask that you post them. We do have several social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook. We also have our YouTube channel, the RADA website. And I'd like to give you a WhatsApp number that you can send your questions, concerns to. And that number is 876 436 8879. I'll repeat it. 876 436 8879. And that's a WhatsApp that you can send your questions and concern. So to our farmers, stakeholders, viewers, wherever you are, thank you so much for being with us this evening. And we encourage you to continue to visit the sites and to contact your RADA extension officer, your local RADA extension officer. If you go to Google, you type in the Rural Agricultural Development Authority, or you type in RADA, well, you might get other sites for RADA because it's an acronym, but Rural Agricultural Development Authority will take you to our website, and there you can find contact information for all our 13 parish offices, and you contact them. Stay tuned. We will be advising you of the time and date for our next episode. God bless. Wish you all the best. Keep safe. Continue to work hard for Jamaica land we love. Thank you to our farmers. Have a good evening.